go, go. Take it up a notch. There you go, boys, there you go. Rock those marks, rock those rockers, rock those bustles. Here we go, Bengals grass. Ooh. Bring that good medicine, the arena buzz. You got us feeling it, Woodlands. You got us feeling it. You are in the heart of a nation, country.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here tonight on our Pow Wow Nation live show. We are going to start the show in just a few minutes. But while you're waiting, go ahead and let me know where you're watching from and how you have been doing during this pandemic. We are all ready to powwow. We're going to talk a little bit about that and what's coming up in this powwow season. We're going to start that in just a few minutes. Right now, you're watching grand entry from the 2018 Hunting Moon Powwow in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Here they come, ladies and gentlemen, men's fancy. A brotherhood of the fancy dancer. Got you out there, men's fancy. Rock those rockers, boy.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching. Keep posting. Let me know where you're from, and we're going to start the show in just a minute.
Bring us right in, Carmen. The beautiful ladies, golden age. Leave that good road for us. Give us that good blessing. There you go. Every day's a high five when you're this golden age. Oh, good to see that.
Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Thank you for being here. I'm Paul Gatter with PowWows.com, and this is our weekly show here at PowWows.com, Pow Wow Nation Live. So thank you, all of you out there in Pow Wow Nation. Thank you for watching. I want to tell you what we got going on tonight, and I want to talk to you about a few things, but our main part of our show is we're going to talk tonight about an effort to bring a native story to the big screen. I mean, when's the last time we went and saw a movie that really told a story, a historical story about Native people? Dances with Wolves. I mean, that wasn't a true story. So there just aren't many of these out there, and there is an effort now being made to take a Native story, an amazing story, and bring it to the big screen in a full featured film. And you can help that. So tonight I've got an interview with the filmmaker and one of the stars from the show, and you'll learn more about that and how you can help do that. But first, I do have some announcements and want to tell you about some things really exciting going on. I do see lots of people. Dev is back. Hello, hello. Casey from South Carolina. Hey, I'm broadcasting from Lexington, South Carolina. We've got people from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Idaho. I saw Paris, France, Louisiana. Thank you all for being here. This is great. So appreciate you being here. So first thing I want to talk about is something really exciting coming up next weekend. We all are missing powwows, and many of them are still going virtual. And that's just where we are. There are some starting to happen, but many are still virtual. The largest powwow in the country every year is the Gathering of Nations powwow. I've been working with them for the last couple of months, planning out their event. It is going to be virtual, but it will be next weekend. This shot I love so much. This was our Zoom call last night, help planning the powwow, and this is some of the head staff and some of the host drums. If you're a powwow person, you recognize some of these names. Lisa Michez from Manitoba, who does the Manitowabi Powwow and Indigenous Music Awards. Vince Bile, Ruben Littlehead, Joaquin Hamilton, and Dennis Bowen. Some huge names, announcers in the powwow world. Jason Whitehouse, Larry Yazzie, great dancers, arena directors, MCs. Southern Slam was there. Who else? Otter Trail was on there, and so many other people. It was awesome. First of all, just getting to connect with some of those people again that I haven't been to an actual powwow since Morongo in 2019. So that was September of 2019. So I haven't seen these folks in forever. So it was great just to be on a Zoom and to visit with them. Of course, you also, I left out Derek and Lita Matthews, who and their daughter Melanie, who run the Gathering Nations. They were on the call last night too. So so lots of powwow folks planning out this powwow. We got a chance to visit. We said prayer and remembered some of the people that had passed and took some time to do that. And we also took some time just to realize how much we all miss it and how important powwows are to Native country. And so we are working as hard as we can to produce the best Gathering of Nations virtual powwow we can. Now, 2022 Gathering Nations is going to be back in Albuquerque at Expo, New Mexico, at the fairgrounds in Albuquerque, live in person. So make plans. April 2022, we will be back in person. But for this year, Gathering Nations still will be a virtual event. So here's what's going to happen. Friday, not this Friday, but next Friday, will be the first day of Gathering Nations. That is going to be a stream on Facebook, on YouTube, on Gathering Nations website, on PowWows.com. We'll have it lots of places you can watch. We're going to have interviews, some highlight videos, some videos from past powwows, and all kinds of other things going on that day. And then Saturday's the day you don't want to miss. Dev, I will get you the dates. I don't know them off the top of my head for 2022, but Saturday is the day for Gathering of Nations you for sure don't want to miss. It is going to be a live contest powwow. There have been lots of contest powwows going on with all the different Facebook groups and different powwows, doing virtual powwows, and people have been sending in their videos, whether they're dancer or singer, and then competing and all that. Well, what Gathering is going to do is all the dancers and singers will be in a Zoom call. We'll all be together in Zoom, and the audience will be watching on Facebook, through a Facebook event. So you'll get to see as we call out the Northern traditional dancers. They will come on the screen. We will highlight them. You'll get to see them dancing to a drum that is going to be there in Albuquerque, singing live. It is going to be an amazing event, something that I have not seen anybody do online yet. So I'm really excited to be a part of this You don't want to miss it. Saturday is a pay-per-view event. It is $9.99 to watch the event. You can go on PowWows.com under our events tab and register for that. Be sure to get your tickets, get registered for that. You don't want to miss it. Saturday of Gathering Nations is going to be awesome. If you've been missing powwow dancing, this is it. There's several hundred dancers registered. One of the things we were working on last night is figuring out how we're going to have all of these groups. It's like Gathering Nations. It's going to be booked and we're going to be tight for time, but that is exciting and awesome. I can't wait. There's going to be live singing, hand drums. Yes, there will be dancing, Dev, and we got a hand drum contest going on. So it is going to be unreal. I cannot wait. So stay with us and watch that next weekend. We'll be doing more promotions for that, so just stay tuned for that. Okay, other announcements. First, and let me take a breath from that. I do want to say that powwows are starting to happen. I got another call today. I can't say which event yet, but an event I usually go to every year is considering opening it back up this summer and having an actual in-person powwow. Their tribal council is still debating. And I'm seeing more and more of that. And some of my friends who are head staff, they're starting to get contracts and inquiries and booking out their summer. So powwows are starting to happen again. So be sure you're checking our calendar over at PowWows.com. You can go www.PowWows.com/calendar. Check that often. We are updating it as much as possible. As soon as we get information, we're keeping that updated with all the current information. So there are powwows coming this summer. They are starting to happen again. So look for them and find one in your area. And there's still virtual powwows coming up too. Manitowoc, that's in Winnipeg, they're doing a virtual. I'm meeting with them next week to start planning that out. And I know other groups are still doing virtual. So there's going to be a mix of powwows this year until we get all through this. But there's lots of ways to connect and get your powwow fix. So check the calendar for that. I also want to say a special thank you to our patrons. These are folks that are making a contribution to PowWows.com every month, and it is making a difference. Because of them, we are able to rely less on ads, which of course is, if you know anything about advertising, it is fluctuating and not reliable. So our patrons help us, provide us with some revenue that we can depend on every month. And because of that, we are able to do some really cool things. So I want to say thank you to our new patrons, Sue, Raylan, Stephanie, Ahoya, Marla, and our longtime patrons who've been with us for some of them over a year: Hillary, Jeanette, Linda, Dorian, and Cynthia. Thank you so much. If you want to help out and join that, just go over to www.PowWownNation.com and you can learn more about that. And some of the things we are doing, we've got a big celebration for something that's happening with PowWows.com this year. If you've been around here a while, this is a milestone year for PowWows.com. So we're going to have a big celebration, and we're I was talking to one of my staff members today. We're in the process of hiring even more writers, so more content coming, and it's all because of our patrons. So thank you, thank you, thank you, and please consider going over there and joining at PowWowNation.com. Let's see, Stan, that's awesome, thank you. Marcy says she's watching from Waterford, Pennsylvania. Awesome, awesome. See, Georgia's watching. Sorry, Kim from Georgia. Ohio. Ohio folks are hardcore, aren't you? All right, let's see. Hello, everybody. Awesome. Thank you so much for watching. All right. Now, so let me tell you a little bit more. So I was approached by the filmmaker to help promote this film and help get a grassroots efforts to bring this story to light. So I've got, like I said, I got an interview, but I also want to play, first of all, an introductory video so that you can kind of learn more about this film. And then I'll play the interview from the filmmaker. So without any further ado, let's get to that so we can find out more about the story, and I want you to get involved and help bring it to light.
Hi, I'm Jerry Thompson, writer and producer of our new feature film project, Bright Eyes. Our team is really excited about seeing this film become a reality. It's a true story of a young, shy Native American woman of the Omaha tribe Here's our actress I have chosen to portray Bright Eyes, former Miss Native American USA, Sarah Ortegon of the Arapaho and Shoshone tribes.
Suzette, Ishta Thioma, Bright Eyes. I'm so honored to portray you in our new movie. I know you weren't seeking fame. You just wanted to save your people. I just wonder how many people know who you were. Bright Eyes was a voice for all natives, explaining the injustices we endured and were suffering. She helped make happen the landmark court case of Standing Bear versus General George Crook, where an Indian was first considered to be a person with legal rights. And after the court case, Bright Eyes and Standing Bear then traveled to the East Coast and spoke out for justice. She met with famous people like Louisa May Alcott, who wrote Little Women, and Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Even though he was the first internationally acclaimed poet of the United States, he said this about Bright Eyes: "I have been a student of the English language for all my life, and I would give all I possess if I could speak with the simplicity, fluency, and force used by this Indian girl." And during the time she met with Longfellow in Boston, she became the first woman ever allowed to speak at Faneuil Hall, which was known as the Cradle of Liberty. She gave an impressive speech about the need for liberty for natives. I also learned that she spoke before Congress, met with President Rutherford B. Hayes, and she was even at Wounded Knee. She was there as a reporter and helped the wounded and dying.
You know, I first heard about Bright Eyes when I was a national publicity representative for the Native American film Windwalker. Our passion is that we bring you the true story of Bright Eyes. No fake events, no embellishments. You know, one thing I'm really excited about is this tells the story of whites and natives working together for the common good and bringing about justice. You know, our goal is $6 million, and we think we can reach that with your help. Now you're going to hear from some Native Americans who are really excited about this project. And after that, we're going to show you how you make your pledge and then what you will receive with your pledge.
Jerry Thompson came to our people. He came to us with honor and respect. He came to us with this vision of this project on his mind, and he shared it with our leadership. Our leadership were excited to be a part of this project as it focuses on one of our historical elders, our relatives.
I'm really excited about Bright Eyes coming to the big screen so that we can hear her voice in this hour. It's critical time, and I think a very important time. So I want to encourage all Native Americans to help support this kickoff so that Bright Eyes' voice can be heard.
Each and every one of us has a purpose, and her purpose was to help push us forward. And a lot of the times I see movies about Indigenous men and how they fought for us, but rarely do you ever hear about a woman who had the drive and the compassion and the love for her people to continue our I want to say practices, but somewhat keep our way of life.
I met Jerry Thompson over 25 years ago, and up until this present day, I've always been impressed with how he wants this project Bright Eyes to be about Native people, from a Native person's point of view. The natives are the heroes, and he wants everything done with respect, and that's where he's brought me in to show how things can be made and how they should be made and how everything should be done correctly.
I'm excited to be a part of this. I'm excited because this is a historical thing that needs to be told, and people need to know about this.
All of our people will get to be a part of something so monumental like this. Is the wow factor. I can't wait for those goosebumps. So.
Yeah. Well, how will this relate to everybody?
It relates to everybody because it's going to give them a chance to tell their side of the story, and then also see that what the Chief Standing Bear also done for them, because they don't know. A lot of people don't know what he done for them. They don't know that he, by winning that habeas corpus in Omaha, Nebraska, in federal court, I mean, that gave us so many things that we never had before.
And today I'm really thankful, and I'm very proud to be a part of this, and I would like to see this movie go on the big screen. And thank you all for your support.
Now that you've seen our promo video, here's how to get on board and make your pledge. Simply click on the Back It button and choose your perk and the amount of your pledge.
Okay, so that was the introductory video to tell you a little bit about the film. So now I want to play you in just a second an interview with the filmmaker Jerry and the actress who's going to portray Bright Eyes. But I want to point out a couple things. What he said there is really important. This is going to be a historical and accurate film. It's not going to be embellishments. It's not going to be something that they take all these liberties with and make it dramatic for the big screen. No, they're gonna tell the true story, and that's enough. This story is intriguing and exciting enough just as it is. Two, he has spent time. He's gone to the tribes that this story came from, and he's talked to them. He's talked to the elders and the tribal council, and he's gotten their blessing. So it's pretty exciting to see a filmmaker go and take the time and do this the right way. Now I want to tell you or show you the interview with him, and so you can learn a little bit more about this film project. As we all know, natives in media is always underrepresented. And tonight I've got two people that are trying to make a difference and tell a story through an upcoming film that's going to highlight stories a story that hasn't been told and needs to be told, and really bring something to the big screen. And you all can have a part in helping that happen. So without further ado, Jerry, if you want to introduce yourself and tell us what's going on with the film.
I'm Jerry Thompson from Eugene, Oregon. Since 1981, I heard about the story of Bright Eyes, Suzette LaFleche of the Omaha tribe, because I was a publicity representative for Windwalker, Crow and Cheyenne film. And that's where I heard about Bright Eyes and made some documentaries and a couple feature films, and now feel like the time is right to make Bright Eyes, which is a true story of a really underdog story of a young Native American woman in Omaha who was basically considered by her tribe an old maid at 24, and her life didn't look too promising, but within 2 years, she had become the first woman to ever speak at the Cradle of Liberty in Boston, first woman, not just Native American. She was feted by Longfellow, the poet, and Louisa May Alcott. Little Women became her friends. She met with the President of the United States for dinner and talked about the need for justice for Natives. And then actually spoke at Congress, lobbied for Native rights, saved her tribe and another tribe, the Ponca, and resulted in the Chief Standing Bear versus General George Crook court case where Natives were first considered as a person with legal rights. And to top it off, about 8 years later, she was at the Wounded Knee massacre as a reporter and helped the wounded and the dying. So this is an amazing story of a young woman. I fell in love with the story when I read the book. It's a 400-page book. I adapted the book to a screenplay, and really excited. Went to get the blessing of the Omaha tribe, and they were all for it. They said they got goosebumps just hearing about it. Ironically, a lot of the people in the tribe hadn't even heard of her. It was amazing, but she was a real shy person, didn't seek glory or fame. And so now we have our actress, Sarah Ortegon, who was a perfect, as we think, is a perfect person to play the heroine in this movie, Bright Eyes.
Awesome. And Sarah, introduce yourself and tell us what is your background in film?
Okay. Hello, my name's Sarah Ortegon. I am Eastern Shoshone and also Northern Arapaho. I started off acting in plays. I was in Black Elk Speaks, and then I moved on to a musical, which I acted in with Moses Brings Plenty. It was called Sitting Bull's Last Waltz, where we told the story of the end days of Sitting Bull. And then I was able to go and travel to Budapest for a couple of years in a row as an extra. I did some stunts in the show, and I think the stunts was probably one of my favorite parts of acting. Just the action and everything that is involved with movement within a movie. And so that's what I've done so far. And I was also Emmy nominated for The Art of Home, which is a PBS television film. So that's my
Paul, she's being too humble here. She was Miss Native America 2013 and danced at Times Square, as I remember you saying.
Yes.
Maybe you could elaborate on that a little bit, Sarah, because I'm sure that kind of helped your acting ability too.
Yeah. So Jeffrey Gibson, he's a Choctaw artist. He invited me to collaborate with him to create a video, and he let me know that it would be on the screens of Times Square. I wasn't aware of how many screens. It was over 60 Times Square screens that I was on. We filmed in one day in multiple different jingle dresses that I had. And we performed March 7th, 2020. And that was right before the pandemic started.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Right before. And it was, I performed that night, March 7th. I remember the full moon was right on top of me. It was a very spiritual experience for the people there and for me. And I was thankful to be a part of it. And I wanted to bring awareness for missing and murdered Indigenous women. So I had to paint the red handprint over my face as I danced, and it was just very touching, and I was very thankful to be a part of it. And that the video was supposed to show for 3 minutes a night for the month of March, but because the pandemic, it actually lasted from March until I believe the end of July of 2020. Wow. And I think it speaks to the power of the healing that the dress brings. And so that's one thing that I was able to do. And the thing that kickstarted me being in, I guess, the public arena was Miss Native American USA. And I tried out in 2013. I actually just wanted to experience it. I just had it as like a checklist. I wanted to be in a pageant. I didn't actually want to win it. And when I won it, I didn't know what to do. And I didn't have a thank you speech prepared or anything like that, but it helped me to think on my toes. So, and I'm very thankful for that pageant, for opening up so many doors. And it wasn't even about beauty. It was more about what you could offer for your community.
And I didn't even know that when I chose her to be, and that was a bonus, you know, to be the actress. Actually, it wasn't really, and I'd say this in all seriousness, I don't know if it was even Sarah or I who made the decision. The creator made the decision after she prayed to the creator in her journal, wanting to know well, Sarah, you can tell it much better than I can.
Yeah, the night before I had gotten this audition, I said, if you don't want me to continue on this path, then show me. And if you do, please, either way, I know that you have ways of guiding us as humans in the path in which you want us to take. And the next morning I received a phone call for this audition, and I didn't even put in for the audition. The crazy thing is my friend Greg Greycloud had received a message asking who I was because they sent him a picture of me and he knew who I was. And so he gave them my contact information. And from that contact information, they gave me a phone call right when I got back into service because I was driving to the reservation. And you know how spotty service is up there. I got the phone call and I submitted, I believe, a couple days later. And then I got
It was 1 day later. It was right away.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I can't remember the time period, but it was very close to each other. So.
And she knew nothing about Bright Eyes or the project.
I knew about her sister, the doctor, but I didn't know about Suzette. So.
That's awesome. And, I think that's, as you know, you dig into history, you find out these kind of stories, they're just not told, they're not taught. So Jerry, if you can't elaborate a little bit more on what the film's going to show us and kind of what you're hoping to highlight here.
Well, the film's going to show us basically the life of Bright Eyes, and from the first ceremony when she gets her name, and we'll have a whole authentic village, as I talked about, and then a little bit about her. Well, let me go back. Her father was the last chief of the Omaha tribe. Joseph LaFleche, Iron Eye was his native, and he, because of a vision by the former chief Big Elk, well, the coming flood of the white man, or the Europeans, he said, we're going to have to adapt to them. And so he sent his children to the Presbyterian mission school, and then eventually Bright Eyes got an invitation and a way paid to go to New Jersey to get an education, almost like a college education. So we're going to see a little bit of that. We're going to see buffalo hunts. We're going to see quite a few, some humorous scenes, some really heart-wrenching scenes. Chief Standing Bear. A lot of people probably know about Chief Standing Bear and that kind of trail of tears of the Ponca, which was a cousin tribe. But she was thrust into this drama, Bright Eyes, because she had the education and she could eloquently speak to the newspaper people, and then the newspaper man, Thomas Timmels of the Omaha Herald, then spread it all over the East Coast, New York, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., the newspapers, and got support to bring up this trial where it was Chief Standing Bear versus General George Crook. So, and then you see her going to the East Coast and all the things that happened there. There's and then she later there's a little romance in the movie, and there's some drama, some action, a murder, and then of course, unfortunately, Wounded Knee. We'll try to be as respectful to do that in a way that's, but we're going to try to show the truth. And we're so blessed to have Michael Badhan, who has been the consultant and the historian for 30 Native American movies, from Dances with Wolves to Crazy Horse to everything. And he can do all the props, he can do all the costumes, everything's authentic. And I want to point that out, Paul, is that you hear a lot of movies that says based on a true story. I can bring some up. One that won an Academy Award that was 95% false about a true person. This is all going to be true. And we found out even in the book that there were some errors through our research. And we're going to correct those errors, and we're just going to present it as it actually happened as closely as we can. We do have to make up some dialogue, and I did make up a line when she spoke at Boston's Faneuil Hall that I'm kind of happy about. I won't tell you what it is now, but it was kind of like we were the first people here, was the kind of the theme.
Right.
And that's where the Boston Tea Party was, where they dressed up as natives. So, but there's a lot of elements to it for sure. And I think because there was whites working with natives together to make this happen and to help each other, it deals with issues, and like even Bright Eyes, between two worlds. She was torn between the white man's ways that she loved with the books and everything, and her traditional ways that she loved too, that she grew up with. And Sarah will know more about that than I do, but I think some of these issues, I mean, one of the chiefs said, "Why are you treating us like children? We don't need you, just let us have our land and do our thing, And so it's a lot of issues, maybe some that are still relative to today, or relevant.
I think a really important thing that this covers is that it's not a tokenized movie. Like, she's not being used as a token. And another issue that we always tend to run into with Native movies is the white savior complex. And in this movie, she is not depending on a white man to save her or her people. She is being at the forefront of the movement of creating just the storyline of us being human. So I think that that's really important highlight to look at.
Yeah, and I think that's actually, it's not just Native movies. I think it's a lot of women's stories.
Yes.
There's always a savior that comes in and saves the woman. I mean, how many princess movies or other things, there's always somebody helping the woman out. So yeah, it's great to hear these kind of stories be told, not only from a Native perspective, but from a woman perspective.
And we've had the it's called like a Kickstarter. It's called Indiegogo. This movie, we're dependent on a grassroots, thousands of people contributing a little bit of money to get a baseball cap or a T-shirt, like you can't see totally here, but or a lot of other levels. Indiegogo, and the other thing is we have Sarah, we have Anthony Parker, who was actually raised on the Omaha reservation to play her father. He's extremely excited to be doing that. He's been in a lot of other Native movies and other movies as well, but also. Yeah, we really want to get some A-list actors. I can throw out some names. Sam Elliott, for one, to play the judge. As high as somebody like Matthew McConaughey to play. These are the kind of people we're shooting for.
Right.
And to do that, again, I don't want to be a salesman. We really are hoping that you support this movie. There's a lot of different levels you can contribute, from $6 up to $10,000. So. We're counting on natives and a lot of other ethnic groups to get behind this, because it's a universal story. Even when I was with Windwalker, it was about the Crow and the Cheyenne, but I saw the box office and every native group in the America went out to see that movie. So it's not just the Omaha and the Ponca. And it's not just about natives, it's about whites, everybody, and the fight for justice.
And for those of you not familiar, Indiegogo, Kickstarter, these are all crowdfunding solution. So it is truly, it's you guys that are going to help bring this movie to the big screen. And it's dependent
their money,
on like you.
Their money is not risked in the sense they're going to get something for it.
Right. And so he's looking for contributions. He's looking for you to be part of the effort. And not just money, but hey, while you're watching this, please make sure you share this story. Make sure you share this video. Let's get more people seeing this. Let's get more people involved. And that way, hopefully more people will join the effort there. We really can get a groundswell going to help bring this out.
And we thank you with PowWows.com for doing this. We've got some good results. It's brighteyesmovie.com, or I'll let you say it. I don't want to say it too much, so I don't feel that comfortable. But
and we'll put all the links in the show notes too.
Okay.
And also, I want to make sure, Sarah, if people are looking for more information about you and your work, where can we go to see that?
So I have a Facebook, Sarah Ortegon, or I also have a Instagram. You could look up Sarah Ortegon and my tag will come up. It's my Arapaho name. It's really long and it has the 3 in it.
Okay.
Nukit Bathase. And I also have Twitter. I also have SarahOrtegon.com, my artist page. I'm also an artist. So multiple sources. If you just know my first and last name, you'll be able to find it.
All right, great.
And ironically, Bright Eyes was an artist too, and they had some similarities in their real life. That's kind of
I work for a law firm, so I'm an executive legal assistant for Native American Rights Fund right now.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So
I think she needs to move to Oregon though, because her name, you take out the T, it spells Oregon.
I've always wanted to do that.
Okay, well, come on out. But let's get the movie made. Let's get the movie made first, huh?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for being here, and please, everybody, go check it out over at the Indiegogo, and let's see if we can get this story told.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
All right, so there was the interview with the Jerry, the filmmaker, and Sarah, the lead actress. So I want to talk to you a little bit. I've got the link down here, and it is the first comment on this video. You can see, or the pinned comment has a link there. You can click on that. But I do, like he mentioned there, that you're not risking anything by contributing to this. There are rewards and perks you'll get. So let's go over a few of those. At the $6 level, you're going to get a sneak peek of the screenplay. So if you're interested in the story, if you want to know what this is going to tell, you can get a copy of the screenplay early on. For $20, he's going to send you a DVD once the film is made. That would be cool to have a nice keepsake, or a ball cap. Those are pretty nice. Or I actually like the T-shirt. I like the design there with the Capitol building and Bright Eyes right there in the center. That's pretty cool. Large movie poster, and then combination there of some things. The calendar. So all the way up to I think he's got some bigger contributions here. If you want to actually be an executive producer, get your name on IMDb and be shown in the credits and help out that way, he has that available too. So there are lots of ways that you can help. Number one, though, right now, go and share this out. Go to www.PowWows.com/brighteyes and share that out to your friends, family, and even people you don't know. Tell them about this movie. Let them know about it. Then go to the Indiegogo and consider making a contribution. I know he will appreciate that, and it's the only way this film is going to get made is through people like us actually contributing and being a part of this effort. So thank you all for watching. To wrap up, the link there, www.PowWows.com/brighteyes, will take you to that Indiegogo page so you can get involved. Remember to check our calendar, www.PowWows.com/calendar, for all the powwows coming up, whether they're virtual or in person. Lots of those happening, so be sure to check those. And remember, next weekend, Gathering of Nations Powwow live, Friday and Saturday. Want to see you online. Be with us. Join in on that live powwow, especially Saturday. We really want to see you come out and see some live powwow dancing. Some people, they're going to be dancing in their house, in their living rooms, but they will be on Zoom doing it for you right there live. So go check that out. It is. I'm really excited about that. So thank you all for watching. I'm live every Thursday night here, right here on Facebook and YouTube. So thank you all for watching and being a part of Pow Wow Nation. Good night.